So I'm hoping this turns out okay using the head cam. I noticed when I was buying this boat that there's not a whole lot of in-depth videos and stuff. I really couldn't find a whole lot of anything online. And unfortunately around me, you're just not usually going to go to a Bass Pro or a Cabela's or anything and see one sitting there, especially the kicker model. So I figured with that in mind, and I had to swing by and change the depth collar on my trolling motor. Mine cracked. So I kind of figured just for the sake of getting something on the channel and hopefully helping some other people, I will just go ahead and do a video. This is the 2023 model, so it didn't come with these lights. Now, the 24 models do come with these, so they're an upgrade for me, but if you're looking at a brand new one, these are what you're going to get. Now, I don't believe this year's model comes with the lights in the rear, but these are actually what this boat came with. I don't have anything bad to say about these. They were bright, they worked good. I had outrigger lights on my kayak. I really liked them. I really liked being able to adjust, and these are a little bit brighter than the sea lights that came on it. But these are the 160 watt adjustables. I don't know if the newer ones coming with these have the Bluetooth transmitters. I would assume they probably do. If not, they're cheap. You can always buy them. But these lights do have a mobile app, which is really nice. This is basically what it looks like here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but these are swamp eye. Click on this. You can adjust the colors and everything, or just pick which one you want. Brightness. I know that when I bought these, they said that you really want to turn these off manually before you cut off like the generator. So I do use the brightness slider a lot for that reason. They also have a strobe function, which I kind of need to look into my generator a little bit more. I don't really have any reason to use the strobes as of right now, but I've noticed that when I'm using the strobe function, the generator wants to go into a low idle in between strobes no matter how fast they're going. I would assume there's probably a way that I just haven't really looked into that much, that I could keep it at a high idle. Now, I don't know what generator is coming on the newer ones. The Furman that was on here was a 1700 watt. It just wasn't quite enough power to run all these lights. I don't know what they're putting on them. Honestly, cutting out the rear lights, it may still be the same one. I can't imagine it is, because even then you're kind of pushing the higher end of your running watts. But the 3500 watt Predator super quiet is what I went with, and so far I love it. But I saw a lot of good things about them. So those are the lights that are on this. The motors that are on it is the 150 4-stroke and then this 9.9 kicker. The 150 was kind of part of the reason why I went ahead and just spent the extra money and got the kicker, even though I really haven't used the kicker motor at all. I was just noticing that a lot of the people who had bought the base model Sportsmans, usually one of the biggest complaints was that they went ahead and they just went with the 115, and they did kind of wish that they had a little bit more motor. I don't know if you guys can really tell in the video, but one thing that I have had a lot of guys, especially guys that I work with, say is that, you know, they see the boat in person, and almost always they say, wow, that boat is a lot bigger than I thought it was. It is just, it's a big boat. So like I said, a lot of people complained, wish that they would have gone with the 150s. That kind of fed into my decision of just going ahead and getting the kicker. So I think that I can probably go ahead and just climb in and show you guys. I'll do a little quick quick walk around here, even though obviously both sides look the same. Now for the other upgrades that I've made. The very first thing that I did was changing out the fish finder. Not really a huge deal for me. The vast majority of what I do is bow fishing, but I really just didn't care for the fish finder that came on it. Part of the reason why was because there was no way to even upload detailed maps and stuff. So I got out there on the lake and it would just be blank. There was no detail to it at all. There was no way to download the maps. I don't know if that's something that they upgraded on this year's, but that was the first thing that I changed out. Now, something that I just got done was I had a new sound system put in. The head unit is the same. It's wet sounds, but I'm a little bit of a, I guess, stereo junkie. I love my music loud, and I love when it's loud and it still sounds good, which really honestly was my only complaint about the original sound system. It sounded fine, it would get loud, but when you turned it up loud, everything just sounded super flat to me. So I did upgrade those. So they put in an amp and then new speakers. I'm currently working on 3D printing some grills for those, just because the place that I took it, they specialize in motorcycles, so they didn't have grills that I guess they could put on the speakers when they're mounted like this. One thing that I will definitely say is that there's really no shortage of storage. These two boxes back here, they're just empty. They got drains. These are nice. I can get a full bag of ice in here, put all my drinks in it, which is nice for long nights or on the rare occasion that I'm out during the day. The other box is exactly the same. I think I saw that some of the older models came with live wells. They don't anymore, and I don't believe they changed that on this year's model. Not really a big deal for me. Every once in a while I'll do some catfishing or something, but even then I don't keep anything. So it'd be a nice option to have, but not really that big of a deal. Now, another thing that is kind of an upgrade. So this compartment here is just going to be your trolling motor batteries. This does come with the onboard charger, and that charger is fed from right here. Super convenient. I already got it plugged in. But over here are the cranking batteries. And when I got this boat, I took it out a couple of times. All of a sudden, all my accessories died. The one battery wouldn't take a charge, pulled it out, it had 3 dead cells. So I went ahead and replaced it, and then the same thing happened to that battery. So I took it in for service, and come to find out, for some reason at the factory, or when they prepped this for me to pick it up, they had wired all of the accessories and lights and everything into one of these batteries. On top of that, they had wired the batteries in with the kicker motor, which number one, I don't use. Number two, it doesn't have an alternator like the 150 does. So they weren't being charged, and the one battery was being overloaded. So when I had that fixed, I went ahead and had them put in a 2-bank charger here. They were able to dongle it in to where it would also be fed from that outlet. That was something I wanted done anyway, so that's been really nice as well, is just being able to charge all 5 batteries just by plugging into that one outlet. Under the seat is more storage. I usually just keep random stuff in there. Sanitizing wipes, bug spray, usually all my registration and all that stuff. And then the kicker did come with this tail fin. I don't know how, but I guess there's a way to program it to where you can steer it with this. Don't really have any interest in doing that, but maybe someday, I guess, depending on where I end up with this. Everything around here is pretty self-explanatory. This is the switch for the deck lights, which is just your bow fishing lights. And then nav lights, courtesy lights. I'll go ahead and leave those on. Bilge pump, horn. These side compartments here, you already saw one, but they got quite a bit of space in them. Keep a couple lawn chairs in here for when I'm catfishing. I'll usually put the trolling motor onto this mounting block back here and throw those seats out on the deck. It's a little bit more comfortable. And then both of these compartments are exactly the same. Quite a bit of space in there. Usually, obviously I got a tackle box in here. We usually keep a blanket and stuff in here too, but I will usually keep a little 2-gallon gas can in that one. Just a little bit of backup gas for the generator. These compartments, so these go all the way through. I just stacked like, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 life jackets in there just to make sure I'm pretty much always covered. Other than that, I don't really use them. Got your tubes here. When I got the boat, the seats were in here, but I know a lot of people, when they're out bow fishing, will keep their spare arrows and stuff in here. Don't really use those. Cup holders. And then in here is where you've got a couple racks for storing bows. The other side is the same. These are also adjustable. Keep a net down in there. The new model, I don't know how they mount the power supplies. I haven't seen inside one, but that's just kind of how I've got mine. I got some heavy duty Velcro and just kind of put the power supplies up kind of on the higher side so that it wouldn't be in a low point. And then the 36 volt Makota, 112 pound. The center door, it does open up, and then that's where you have the center column for the kicker. It's got the throttle, steering. It's got a couple cup holders on it. I'm not going to move the trolling motor right now. There's, I think, several photos and stuff online of that up, and you guys can see what it looks like that way. But I think for the most part, that is about it. If there's anything I'm missing or you guys have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll explain the best that I can. If it's a lot for some reason, maybe I'm missing something major, I can always make another video as well. But really, more than anything, I'm just kind of hoping that this helps somebody make a decision if they're looking at this boat. Like I said, I looked everywhere, and there was a couple really short videos, or maybe there'd be a video of somebody just driving a boat down a stream or something, or there just wasn't really much of anything out there. So I've been wanting to do this video, I just hadn't really gotten around to it. But thanks to anybody who watched, and hopefully this will be a good year for getting out. I know I'm going to do a little bit of traveling with it this year, and hopefully be able to put some good footage out there once I kind of get my camera situation figured out. But until next time.